Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. Jason and I are working in the backyard today, right in front of the greenhouse. So a couple months ago, I went to Oregon and I visited my friend Claudia from the YouTube channel In the Garden with Claudia. And her backyard is stunning. It is absolutely gorgeous. And she has raised beds that she plants her cut flowers in, some veggies, but mostly cut flowers. And part of her raised beds, she has hanging like patio lights, and it was just so beautiful. I am 100% copying her, so don't think that this came from my brain. It came from Claudia and her husband's brain, but it was so pretty. And as soon as I saw it in her garden, I thought, oh, I want that so much in my garden. So I work with a company called Hoselink. I'm sure you all have probably heard of it. They do retractable hoses, and they do the best job with retractable hoses. But they also do a really good job with solar lights. And we recently have put a whole bunch of solar spotlights all around our new trees that we've recently planted in our garden. And I'm just in love with them so much. I wish I could show you them better. It's just with my cameras, I cannot get them on camera. I can't do low light filming very well. I'm just not that good at it. But trust me when I say at night with these solar spotlights, it's absolutely beautiful. And so Hoselink also has solar patio lights. And so I thought, okay, how fun would it be to have, just like Claudia has in her garden, the patio lights hanging all around these raised beds back here, and then to use the solar lights so that they're just constantly going. I just think it's going to be so beautiful. And let me clarify, when I say constantly going, the way that the Hoselink solar lights work is that they turn on at night and then they turn off during the day. So it's not constantly, but it will be on when it's dark out. And I think that that's just perfect, because I think it's going to make it easier for us to come out here in the evening and kind of work in these beds when we have that light and we just know that that light is going to be on. So here's the flower bed area that we're going to be installing these lights around. And these are my no-till beds, and they're my flower beds. I do plant some veggies in here. I keep trying to plant more veggies, but I always end up planting flowers. And the way that they're arranged is kind of in 4 quadrants. So I have 2 in the front here, 2 in the back, 2 in the back over there, and 2 over here. I have a big pathway down the center that has my greenhouse at the end. I am planning to put something right here in the middle. I just don't know what yet. I would love like a fountain or something like that, or a succulent fountain, a fountain with succulents growing in it. Oh, I just think that would be so pretty. We just haven't gotten there yet. And then this kind of pathway right here, this pathway here, and over to that side is wider than all the other pathways. So think of this as 4 quadrants cross in the middle. And I'm telling you this because that's how we're going to arrange the lights. We have been digging holes all through here. And so you can see there's one there, and then we're skipping. And then here's another hole here. And then we're coming this way. There's another hole there. And then another hole right there. So what we're doing is we're making each quadrant have its own kind of post system, and we're going to connect the lights to that post system. It's going to make way more sense when you actually see it happening. This project has been taking us a very, very, very long time, and that is because of this stuff that you see. So back here, there's so much buried junk everywhere in the back of this garden. I think that this garden was completely landscaped and had pathways and patios and everything like that. And they basically just covered it with soil. So when we're digging back here and we're digging our holes for these posts, we keep running into bricks and patio pavers and old PVC pipes and, you know, all this kind of stuff. So we thought this was going to be really quick and we were just going to be able to dig holes really quickly. Turns out every single hole has been kind of an issue. Jason hasn't been very happy with me because he's been having to deal with the issues, right?
Fun.
How much have you loved this project? This is your favorite project so far, huh?
We expected.
So we've been trying to get this project done now for, I would say, like 2 months. But now we're committed. I want to get it done. I want to get these posts in. We're going to use the post cement, where you just stick the post in and then you pour the cement around it, water it in, and then that will set the post, because there's really going to be no structure to these posts. There's nothing really heavy hanging on it. It's just the light, so we don't have to worry about it too much. So because we've been working on this project for a couple weeks now, I have other aspects of the project already done. Basically, all my posts are cut to the right size. They're all painted. They're all ready to go. Let me show you some clips of when I did that. And I'm telling you, this was probably 4 to 6 weeks ago. So today we're going to get started in this front left quadrant. So putting 4 posts around these 2 beds. This bed that I have these gorgeous dahlias still in. These dahlias I actually grew from seed, and they weren't showing too much most of the season. But now, as the season's coming to a close, they are the coolest dahlias. Look at that. Look at how weird that is. It is just the most interesting pattern. I am going to save these dahlias. I'm going to leave them in here. I am so interested to see if they're going to come back the same next year, or if they're just going to end up being like a beautiful pink color, which this really is a beautiful pink color. But my goodness, this weird patterning. Look at that. Isn't that the coolest thing? So anyway, we are going to be working around these 2 beds first. What Jason is doing right now is he is putting a line. What would you call it? Like a level line? What do you call it?
Like a, I don't even know, like not a plumb line. That's not right either.
Is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm just running a line so that we have a straight line to line up all the posts on, so that when we put them, they're not staggered and they're not also leaning.
And if you all remember installing these beds, how important that was to Jason. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I absolutely cannot stand it. If it's gonna be staggered, or like, you just know.
You can't handle it.
Yeah.
So these beds are all perfectly laid out, exactly perfect. And so now we're gonna put the post out exactly perfect, because it's very important to Jason. It's important to me too, but I kind of do it by eye, but he does it like this, which is the right way to do it. So he's doing a line right here, and then he's going to do lines crossing this way, and then that's where we know to put the post in and to set it in with the post hole cement. So he's working on putting the lines up, and then we will get started putting the posts right here. Let me show you the post real quick. So here's where the posts have been sitting for a couple weeks now. And what I'm doing right now is I am putting a mark 2 feet up. So the normal guidance for when you sink post, when you put a post into the ground, is you want to sink the post about 1/3 to 1/4 of the total height. And these are 12-foot posts, so technically they should be 3 to 4 feet deep into the ground, but we don't think we need that. I was talking to my dad, who is an engineer, because like I was saying, this has no structural, they're not structural at all. The only thing that's hanging are super light super lightweight lights on them. So he thought that 2 feet was absolutely plenty, and it just makes it easier for us so we don't have to dig such deep holes. So anyway, I marked each post up to the 2 foot mark. You can see right there. There's another mark there. There's another mark here. And then up at the top, I put in these eye hooks about 3 inches from the top. And this is where I'm going to hook my wire because I want my solar lights hanging on wire so that they don't sag. So here you can see with it crossing. So basically the post, we're going to set it right here, and then we know it's in the perfect spot, and it's going to be in line with that one and with that one and so on and so on.
That one first or this one first? Deeper?
Yeah, it needs to be deeper.
Okay.
Holy moly.
Not about the 3 foot thing. You know?
All right, I think we're on day 625 of this project. But luckily, I think we're finally starting to get somewhere. So I just want to apologize about this video because it's going to be all over the place. I literally have filmed this video over 2 months. just from step 1 to where we are now. Oh man, when I edit this video, it's going to be quite interesting. So I think the last clip you saw was Jason and I working over in this bed right here, putting these 4 posts on, and we were doing it, we were getting there, but it was getting very, very difficult to get it right, to get them level and to get them straight. And I'm going to be honest, we were getting frustrated. We were definitely frustrated with this project already because it had taken so long to dig all these holes and everything. So we finally just called it, and we called in some help to put in the rest of the 12 posts. And I'm so glad we did, because I'm so glad they're up now, because now we got to move on to the fun stuff, which is hanging the wire and hanging the lights on them. So basically, again, these are 12-foot posts that we put 2 feet into the ground. So they're 10-foot tall posts. And then at the very top, you can see each post has an eye hook up there. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to string some wire. We're not going to use the wire tighteners or anything like that. We're just going to wrap the wire around each other, around itself. And then we're going to hang the solar lights on the wire. And then hopefully we'll be done with this project. I mean, honestly, if it was any other backyard, I feel like it would have been 10 times easier, but because it's our backyard, it was just such a pain. Oh my goodness, but we're almost there. So let's go ahead and finish. I think Monty's over it too. Are you over this project? right, after 2 months, 1,000 cups of coffee, and only a couple arguments from Jason and I.
No arguments.
I think we are finally done with this project. And I have to say, I love it. Don't you love it?
Yeah, it looks great.
Oh my gosh, I am so happy with how it turned out. It's exactly what I imagined. Is it what you thought?
Yeah, it's actually better than I thought it would look. I was like a little bit skeptical of how it was going to turn out when we were kind of midway through. I wasn't sure, but this actually looks really nice.
Yeah, I love it. So just as a reminder to everybody, Jason, turn around so you can see our house. Our house is what's called a California Rambler Ranch. So it's a ranch house, but it's a rambler, which means it's long and low. And then also you can see it kind of curves around back here like this. And I've done some research on the purpose of a rambler ranch, and what it is as it curves around, it kind of encompasses a certain area of the yard, and that area of the yard is kind of like your family garden. It brings the community together, brings the family together. So that's what I always envisioned for this part of the garden, was to kind of be the working garden where I would have my cut flower garden, and I would have my, greenhouse wasn't in the plans, but I'm super happy to have the greenhouse, and then just have a place that the family could be all the time. And that's kind of what these lights do for that, because these lights are going to be on every night when the sun goes down, and it's just going to make it so much easier for my family to come and congregate back here. So I love it. It's exactly what I wanted. I was a little worried about it taking away the view from the barn, my neighbor's barn, but I decided it was more important to have my garden be something I want to look at rather than the neighbor's garden. And you can still see it from certain areas. But I just...
From here, it looks good still, I think.
You can see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you lose it.
Yeah. I just think it's just so pretty. Like, this is exactly what I wanted. I do think that we're going to replace the raised beds eventually to something maybe a little bit nicer, maybe even a little bit taller, but that is like way down the line. Don't have to worry about it. So I'm super happy. So basically the Hoselink solar lights, what I did is I got 4 of them. So I got 4 sets, and you can see we put the solar panels on top of the middle post right there. The reason why we put them on the middle post is because that's where they're going to get the most sun. And then we also put an extension on each string. So basically each quadrant has 1 string of the solar lights and then 1 solar light extension on it. And so that's 50 lights in total. And it was like the perfect length for this quadrant. Like it just worked out absolutely perfectly. And we have lights over our Vigo beds over on the other side of my office, but they're not solar lights, and those are the ones that you have to plug in. And I have to say, we never turn those on.
Yeah, they don't go on very often.
I always forget to turn them on. I should get one of those Christmas light,
like a timer
things, just so that we can use them more often. But that's one of the things I'm really excited about these solar lights. I do have to say, I like the shape of those plug-in lights better, but I like the functionality of these solar lights way more, just because we'll be able to use them every single day. So.
And running an extension cord to these wouldn't be practical.
I don't think so. I don't think it would have worked. It would have been annoying.
Yeah. Totally.
So solar was kind of the way that we could make this project work, which is really exciting. So a huge thank you to Hoselink for providing us with these beautiful solar lights. I'm super excited. You guys know how bad I am about nighttime shots. I'm going to do my best to get a nighttime shot of these all lit up. But everybody cross your fingers that I can get a good shot. So hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.